time is now 5:30 p.m. The date is March 21st. We will call to order the meeting for the City of Statesboro's mayor and council. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Phil Boyd.
Thank you, Mayor. We all please bow our heads. Lord, thank you for giving us this day and the opportunity to gather and be here to do the work for the citizens of Statesboro. Be with us as we make decisions, sometimes difficult, that will affect our citizens and our city and our community today and well into the future. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today we have a special item for 3A. It's a presentation of a retirement award to Mr. Kevin Spann, our Chief Wastewater Treatment Plant Operator. He is retiring effective April 1st, 2023 after 30 years of service. And so what I would like to do is share some comments by his team member sent by Matt Aycock. Kevin Spann began his career with the City of Statesboro on March 24th, 1993 as a wastewater treatment plant worker. He quickly obtained his Georgia Class 3 wastewater operations license in May of 1994 and was promoted to wastewater treatment plant operator. Through his hard work and dedication to the plant and the city, Kevin eventually earned his title of Chief Operator, where he has been the shift supervisor over plant operations. In November of 2005, he successfully obtained his Georgia Class 2 operator's license, which is an extremely difficult exam. Kevin is one of only 4 utility employees to possess this level of certification. Throughout his 30 years with the city, Kevin has shown his love for his environmental profession and has gained the respect of all who have had the privilege to work with him. He has a calm and quiet demeanor, which has served him well over the years, dealing with the many wastewater plant and personnel changes that we have seen. He has always kept a great attitude and work ethic, having set the example for every employee to follow. We are losing a valuable employee, but are grateful for his service to the City of Statesboro and wish him a long and happy retirement. And tonight we're celebrating Kevin. 30 years is a long time. But these are the kind of people that we have working with this organization. And when I talk about being for people, people make up this organization. And so, Kevin, tonight we want to recognize you. The team's put together an award. I want to share it. And then Lane, we want to get a photo opportunity, but I want to share it with the body as we do so. This is what we'll be presenting, Mr. Spann. Mr. Spann, come forward. That's heavy.
Took the word down just
Oh.
Don't move.
It's blinking too much.
I'm not quiet like he is.
ready. 1, 2, 3.
One second. Come on. Come on. This thing is not. Please do something. Turn to get the video.
There you go. Lane can fix it.
Something's not doing it.
It's frozen. Oh wait, there it went.
There we go.
Still.
Putting your finger up.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No problem, no problem.
There you go.
Yeah, 30 years requires a little bit of patience.
That's right. You're doing good. All right.
There you go. Good deal. All right, congratulations. All right, we want to get a picture with you and the council. Mr. Penny? Go ahead. Oh, wait a second.
Go to family first.
Yeah, let's do family first. Yeah.
Kevin, family?
Yeah.
Took about a 10.
You doing all right? Yeah, come on in here. I'm a sidekick.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, we wanna bring, y'all stand up for council?
John?
You know what that's doing? That's automatic phone call. Ain't he in better shape than me?
Mr. Penny, please that's up at Sherry, actually. Where do you want it?
You want me to be behind?
I think that's good. Okay. Venus. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, somebody.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, co-workers? Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, he look good. Stay learning too. Yeah.
Now, what it said is she had co-workers coming, but they got stuck in traffic. I don't know where they were coming from.
Go on and tuck on in.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You take one more. 1, 2, 3.
And we can share these with you.
Lane, Kevin, make sure we share photos with family. Okay.
You look 35 years old. You know what you want to say?
Matt, does he have a city email?
He does.
Okay, I'll email him.
We move down to agenda item 4, public comments. Leah, did anyone sign up for public comments?
No, Mayor.
Okay, we move down to agenda item 5, consideration of a motion to approve consent agenda. Approval of the minutes for the March the 7th council minutes. Consideration of a motion to approve of surplus and disposition of equipment in the Public Works and Engineering Department. Consideration of a motion to acknowledge council receipt of annexation petition by Bel Air Estates Incorporated for 36.55 acres of property located on Beasley Road. And to direct city clerk to investigate and clarify the sufficiency of the petition filed. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item 6. Agenda item 6 is a
Mr.
public.
Mayor, I think Mr. Thigpen might be confused. We have two sets of comments. And one at the beginning of city council, and that's for items, for talking about items on the agenda. And we have a comment section after city council. That comes after other stuff. You look confused, so I didn't,
Okay, thank you, sir.
nobody's ignoring it.
All right.
Agenda item 6, public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve application AN 23-02-04. S&K Investments of Georgia LLC requests annexation by the 100% method of approximately 1.72 acres of property located at 3101 Old Register Road. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Kathy, if you will give us some insight.
Yes,
on this.
if I may, Mayor, I'd like to combine, items number 6 and number 7. Number 6, deals with an annexation request, and then number 7 deals with the rezoning request, but it's for the same property. So I'd
Okay,
like to
As a
combine my
point of privilege, we'll do
presentation.
so.
Thank you. S&K Investments of Georgia LLC requested annexation and zoning map amendment from the R40 Single Family Residential Zoning District to the CR Commercial Retail Zoning District on approximately 1.72 acres of property in order to construct a commercial development at 31010 Register Road. Currently, the property has an existing commercial building on it. The applicant intends to build a second building on the property as highlighted in the development plan and renovate the existing building to create a general shopping center. At this time, there is no determined proposed business type specific for this development. And you can see the parcel here at the intersection of Veterans Memorial and Old Register Road. It's outlined in red. The future land use map shows this to be in an emerging business area. The current zoning is the county zoning, which is highway commercial. And you can see the subject property at the photo on the top left. The property to the east is shown on the bottom right. Property to the north is shown on the top left. And the property to the south is shown on the bottom left. This shows you the proposed site plan for the site. And Old Register Road is along the bottom and Veterans Memorial is on the right side of this plan. Staff does recommend approval of AN 23-02-04 and RZ 23-02-05. If these petitions are approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of this zoning map amendment does not grant site and/or building plan approval as submitted. Projects will be required to meet all city ordinances and applicable building codes. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on March 7, 2023, the commission voted to recommend approval of application RZ 23-02-05 with staff conditions on a 5-0 vote. That is my presentation, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak for the request?
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. I'm John Dotson of the firm Maxwell Reddick, representing the owner. I'll just answer any questions if y'all may have any.
Thank you.
We would also like a favorable vote from the council too.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, if we have any questions, we'll do that in council discussion. Okay. All right. Is there anyone here to speak against the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, we're gonna open it up for council discussion.
So this, parcel that's being annexed into the city, is that for, you said for is it for shopping or?
Yes, it's
What
gonna
is
be, they're asking for a commercial retail zone.
Okay,
So that will allow for a proposed shopping center, which is, I believe, what they're gonna be using it for.
oh, okay.
And just for your information, just to the south of that site, there's another rezoning coming in next month as well to continue that shopping center. So,
Okay.
We'll be right across from Publix.
Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I think we already did that. All right, is there a motion to approve by the council?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
That was the annexation of the vote.
That was both, that was 6 and 7. We move down to agenda item 8, public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve application CUB 23-02-06. Vernon Howard requests a conditional use variance on a .28 acre property to establish a recovery home at 378 Johnson Street. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Kathy, if you give us some insight on this, please.
Yes, sir. The property is currently a vacant house. The home was recently sold to Mr. Howard, who owns a number of sober living facilities throughout the city. As per the city ordinance, this use is defined as a group dwelling and is an allowed use within the R8 zoning district, which is what it's currently zoned. This location will still be required to apply for an occupational tax certificate to operate, which will include all the requisite licenses that will be necessary. The parcel is shown outlined in red here. And it's basically, it's on Johnson Street, almost at the corner with the intersection of West Jones Avenue. The future land use map shows this to be in a residential redevelopment character area. The current zoning is shown to be R8. And the subject property is shown on the top left picture. The property to the south is shown on the bottom right. Property to the west is shown in the top left. And the property to the east is shown in the bottom right. Staff does recommend approval of CUV 23-02-06. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of the conditional use variance does not grant the right to conduct renovations to the facility. All renovations must be completed through the building permit application process. 2, this conditional use does not grant the rights associated with a higher density residential district. Upon expiration of the recovery home permit, the provision for unrelated persons must be followed. So in essence, this use, if this use moves, then the special conditional use variance goes away. Okay? At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on March 7, 2023, the Commission recommended approval of application CUV 23-02-06 and staff conditions with a 5-0 vote. That is my presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kathy. Is there anyone here to speak for this request?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Thomas Howell. I'm an attorney here in town. I own Howell Law LLC. I'm also in-house counsel and director of services for the Damascus Rehabilitation Center for Men here in Statesboro, Georgia. This is Mr. Vern Howard. He's the owner and operator of Damascus. He owns several substance abuse treatment facilities that are both GAR and Thor approved treatment facilities to help individuals in our community get sober and live a better life. And he's seeking to occupy this property for that purpose as well. If you have any questions, I'm happy to assist, as well as Mr. Howard.
Well, any questions will be asked during the council discussion.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all so much. Is there anyone here to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna open it up for council discussion. Any discussion by council?
And I drove by there today just to see where that parcel is located. Is this for men's only, this recovery home?
Yes, for men only.
Okay.
Any further questions by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 9, public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve application for alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance, Section 6-13A, Blue Mile Catering, 454, South Main Street, Statesboro, Georgia, 30458, license type low volume, Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, planning and zoning, are there any issues?
No issue, Mayor.
All right, fire,
No issues.
okay, chief,
Go ahead, no issues there.
all right, Kane,
No issues, Mayor.
all right. Is there anyone here to speak for the request? All right, seeing that there's none, is there anyone here to speak against the request? All right, seeing that there are none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, I want to open it up for council discussion. Any council discussion? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 10. Public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve application for alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance, Section 6-13A. Goku 2023 Incorporated, DBA Sparker, 3348 Northside Drive West, Statesboro, GA 30458, license type package sales, beer and wine only. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, planning and zoning,
No issue.
fire,
No issues, Mayor.
chief,
No issues there.
Kane.
No issues, Mayor.
All right, is there anyone here to speak for the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there anyone to, speak against the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
All those in favor? Is there, a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any council discussion? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 11, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2023-16, a resolution requesting approval to apply for assistance to firefighters, fire prevention and safety grant for the city of Statesboro, Georgia. Mr. Penny, if you will, give us some insight on that.
Mayor, members of the council, the fire department has an opportunity to apply for these grant funds through the Fire Prevention and Safety Grant Program. And the purpose of these two grants is, first, it's a total of $21,000. The first one is to purchase equipment and for fire investigation, and that's for $16,000. And we have purchased a trailer with tools so that when we have fires, we can move that equipment around easily. And so we recommend approval of that one. And then the other part of the program will be for $5,000 that will be used for smoke detectors, smoke alarms. Our fire department annually is going around installing smoke alarms, smoke detectors in homes. And this will allow us to be able to replenish that supply. And we just request your permission to apply for these grant funds, and we do recommend approval.
Thank you. Any discussion by council?
One last thing, Mayor, it does require a match of about 10%, which would be like $2,100, and we can cover that.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council?
I think it's one of the best things that we do with the fire department, so I'm happy to see them get more money to keep doing it.
Any further discussion? All right, seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 12, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2023-17, a resolution amending the job position classification and compensation plan to classify the fire apparatus operator to administrative captain, FD. Mr. Penny, if you will.
Mayor, members of the council, first, Chief requested taking that fire apparatus operator position, vacant position, and asked for reclassification to an administrative captain. The reason that is significant is as we continue to grow, there are things that the fire department has to do. And right now, we don't have a lot of administrative people that can provide that assistance. And so by reclassifying this position, we will provide a promotional opportunity for a firefighter. But it would also provide us an opportunity to be able to have enhanced training. It would also provide opportunity to work with prevention. And it would provide us opportunities when we have operational challenges that the fire captain would also fill in as well. And so we have reviewed the request. HR has reviewed it and has also consulted with payment and classification, Dr. Condry. And so therefore, we're bringing forward that this, we're recommending the reclassification of the fire apparatus operator to an administrative captain in the fire department. And so what that would do, it would change the pay grade from a 16 to a pay grade 20. And again, it provides a promotional opportunity for someone in the fire department. And as you all are aware, recently the city was approved for a $2.1 million grant from SAFER, which means that we will be in the process of hiring 12 additional firefighters in addition to the 9 that y'all have approved last year. So that's 21 additional people. So we're gonna move our fire department from a department of 50 to one of 71. And with that, it is gonna require additional staffing and additional administrative staff. And so therefore, please recommend to you the reclassification of that fire apparatus operator to a fire captain.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna open it up for council discussion. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We move down to agenda item 13, consideration of a motion to approve the Statesboro Fire Department to sell 3 fire apparatus and other equipment in the amount of $90,000 to the Emmanuel Fire Department. Mr. Penny, you wanna give us any further insight on that?
Just simply to say, Mayor, the general statutes allows us to be able to dispose of equipment without going through a bid process, and in particular when you are working with another governmental entity. And in this case, we have this equipment that is available since we have some new equipment that's going to be coming online. And so we've been working with Emmanuel County, and they want this old equipment. One is the old ladder truck. And since they want it, we want them to have it. And then the other piece of it is, the other thing is just simply say, none of this equipment will be surplus until our new equipment is online. And I think we have 2 new trucks that we're hoping to have delivered sometime in April. So we recommend approval.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna move down to agenda item 14, other business from city council.
Mr. Mayor, I'll just share an update. Many of you know there's a contest going on. We're first readers of Bullock County FERST. It's a literacy program to help equip Bullock County children to be ready to learn to read when they get to school. And Ms. Paulette Chambers and I have been participating in their contest. Tonight at midnight is the last day to vote. So you can vote for both of us or any of the other 3 candidates, storybook character contestants. Every $3 vote will buy a book for a Bullock County child. So I encourage you to support that if you haven't. You can go on Facebook to Sherry Barr's page or Paulette Chambers' page or the First Readers page and find the link to click with your credit card, and you can vote as much as you will and support literacy and support either or both of us. So thank you for your support. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 15, which is city manager comments.
Mayor, member of the council, a couple of things, and so Ms. Barr asked me a question, and so she looked a little disappointed when I told her I wasn't gonna make a report, so for you, Ms. Barr, I'm gonna do this. She wanted an update on the transit system, and we're getting closer, but we're not ready to pop the cork on the bottle of champagne yet. We're in the process of getting the buses wrapped.
Yeah.
And so far, we've only got 1 wrap, And so we're keeping that out of sight until we have 4
Okay.
that are wrapped. And so, as I told y'all, ever since I've been here, I hate to tell you when that system is gonna become operational. But we're closer than we were 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have everything ready and we'll be sitting here saying the transit system is a go. So we're getting closer. The second item, I just wanted to report to council about, I guess Al did do an article in the paper about, the precinct, for, the William James, precinct, is being recommended to be relocated. And the recommendation is to relocate, that, precinct, to Loretta Moore, facility, on Martin Luther King Drive. In order for that to happen, the city has to, publish a notice for 2 consecutive weeks. And then this council will need to take action to approve that site. And so what, I'm just giving you notice tonight, but it doesn't actually start anything until, the city clerk can run that notice. And so what will happen is, she'll run it for two weeks. We thought we would get it on the first agenda in April, but we will not make the first agenda in April for your approval. So it'll be on the second agenda in April, for your consideration.
Okay. Any discussion by council on the matter?
This is just to make a recommendation to the Board of Electors, right? They actually choose where the location is?
Yes, they've actually already met, and they've selected this site. However, they want to hear from this body, for our election that would be later this fall. So they're waiting on us. I got an email earlier this week asking, had we had done public notice, and no, we hadn't. And so just wanted to put y'all on notice before we start advertising, and then bring it back to you second meeting in April.
For city elections, it affects District 1 and 2, but for county elections, it only affects District 11, is that correct? No, yeah. In other words, it's only really moving it if you're, it's only really moving it for some people in the county, but, it won't move my county precinct, it will just move my city precinct. See what I mean? I think that's gonna be the case for many people.
You voted the,
Primitive Baptist.
Yeah, so it doesn't affect that.
That's my county vote though, but in a city election only, I voted at William James.
Mm-hmm. That's accurate.
But that site was used for some, in the last general election.
It's
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
James was
That's
used.
it too.
But for city people that, we got split sites. Some of us go to the William James, and then some of us go to Primitive based on what the election cycle is. So for city, we voted William James, presidential races, governor races, we go to Primitive Baptist.
right, and then there's some people that
That
go
would
for the
go to
vote.
William James.
Yeah.
Correct.
But this, well, that's the board of election, but for our election, the Loretta Moore would replace the William James site.
Mhm.
But also, if I'm not, and Mayor, you can correct me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
the move would also be for those other elections as well.
It would still be used for those elections as well. It just all depends on where you live at.
Right.
Yeah.
Question, so Phil, does that mean you gonna have 2 places to go vote?
I already have 2 places to go vote.
Already have 2 places to go vote?
Yep.
That seems wrong.
And it's,
That's all I have to say.
the city districts don't overlap the county districts, so they don't align, so, the city election is completely separate from the county election. Now, the county, the state, the feds, that all overlaps because it uses the county voting precinct. But our city, because of our 5 district council setup, the districts don't align.
But if you reside in District 2, you will go to Loretta Moore both times.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah,
Okay,
because when I vote, I go to William James for all of it.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
That's all I have.
That's it? Okay. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 16, public comments. The first name that we have on our public comment section, is Marshall Webster. And his topic is in regards to monuments. Mr. Webster.
Council members, 4 weeks ago, you approved an historical marker memorializing victims of lynching over a century ago. Said marker to be paid for by Equal Justice Initiative, a far-left group funded by George Soros. Two of the so-called victims on this marker are these men, Paul Reed and Will Cato, who in 1904 murdered Henry Hodges, pictured here with his family in the course of a robbery, then raped and killed his wife Claudia. When he found his 8-year-old daughter Kitty Corrine hiding, she offered them the only thing of value she had if they would spare her life and the lives of her baby brothers, Harmon and Talmadge. Instead, they raped her, killed her with an axe, and set the house on fire and let the two baby boys burn to death. There were so few remains left of the Hodges family, they were all buried in one casket. Based on physical evidence found at the crime scene, as well as testimony from their wives, to whom they had boasted of their deeds, Reed and Cato were tried, convicted, and sentenced to be hanged. However, a group of thoroughly enraged Bullitt County citizens abducted them and burnt them at the stake. On the Hodges worn gravestone, you will find nickels placed by visitors who want that precious little girl to know her last gesture was not forgotten, her last treasured gesture. For reasons of leftist ideology and shameless political pandering, you have chosen not only to stir up racial animus, but to spit on the graves of the Hodges. I propose that to ameliorate your desecration, you approve a marker on city property memorialing the Hodges. You have obviously declined to do that. So be it. I will not rest till every citizen in Bullitt County and beyond knows about your low, spineless behavior. I hereby leave a nickel on this lectern in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, you will remember that beautiful little girl and what those two animals whom you now glorify did to her and her family. Thank you for your kind attention.
Next on the agenda, we have Jay Braswell, and the topic is the recently approved historical marker.
Mr. Mayor, council members, ladies and gentlemen. I was born and raised in Bullitt County, and when my time comes, I'll be buried in this good old Bullitt County earth. But I haven't lived here in 50 years, so you might say I don't have a horse in this race. But I would hope that we can stop and think for a minute of all the brutality that we've seen throughout our history. Certainly all of us have heard about Jesus' crucifixion. Can we imagine what it must have been like for bridge spikes to be used to nail this man to a wooden structure where he hung until he died? The fact that these murders, and I will say the killing of Mr. Cato and Mr. Reed were brutal, just as the killing of the Hodges were. The Hodges killings were unprovoked. I don't know that that gives anyone any more right to say that the lives of Mr. Reed and Mr. Cato weren't equally important, but people acted in the heat of the moment. It was 119 years ago. None of us were alive. We don't know really how people thought, how they acted, and why they took the actions that they took. I would have to agree with Mr. Webster that it seems that putting a marker up, for whatever the reason, to memorialize Mr. Reed and Mr. Cato without something equal for the Hodges is saying that you value their lives, that is Reed and Cato, more so than the Hodges. I would hope, I really would hope that there would be some way to undo the putting up of the marker to Reed and Cato and let sleeping dogs lie. There's an old saying that says that time heals all wounds. And I suspect up until 20 or so years ago, when this thing began to be dug and picked at again, it was, except for maybe a few people, family members and others, a matter that no one thought anything about. I think by doing this, you bring it all to the surface again, and people's emotions will run high. So it would seem to me like, since this body approved the erection of one monument, that you would consider doing the other, so at least you have some balance. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Michael Moore, and his topic is the recently approved historical marker.
Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council, one thing this council is overlooking is the fact that Cato and Reed had been tried, convicted, and sentenced to death by hanging for the members, or the 5 members of the Henry Hodges family. They took their lives. That's more than Cato and Reed gave to those 5 innocent people. Now, I will not say that Cato and Reed got what they deserve, because that would be judgmental on my part. And the Bible says, judge not, that ye be not judged. That's Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. But remember, Cato and Reed did not meet their fate for singing too loud at choir practice. Charles Darwin had a handle on the current woke culture that we are in. He said, at some stage, the human species will divide. Whilst most will continue to evolve, a minority of these lacking the intellectual capacity of thought will develop as a subspecies, being easily led, form packs attempting to control the majority. They will deny biology, attempt to undo the centuries of human development by rewriting history and gradually reverting to their origins. They will expect all to conform to their point of view. I'll leave you my symbolic note.
Thank you. We'll move down to Ms. Sue Palmer. She has public comments in regards to a home on Lee Street that has a lot of vehicles in the yard. Ms. Palmer?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I've come up before and spoke with you privately and Mr. Boyne about some property that I pass sometimes. And it's come to my attention that this property at 97 Lee Street is managed by MBRE Holding LLC, and the agent to it is one of our local attorneys, a well-known attorney in here. And I would like to ask you guys, if you would, to just ride by there and see if this is the image you want to project in this county when people are riding by everybody's house looking for houses now to buy. So you just ride by there. There's a big mud puddle in the front. It's probably, the diameter is probably 15, 20 feet, and the circumference is about 45, 50 feet. And I've been by there, the kids are running through there, and I've had to actually stop for them before. So if y'all would just take that into consideration, that one of your local attorneys is managing that property and letting it just deteriorate. You know, there are funds that are available, I'm sure, for people who can't fix their house or maintain it. But the county and people who ride by shouldn't have to look at a view like it is.
And I do believe we sent code enforcement out to take a look at that.
I have spoken to code enforcement.
Okay.
Charlie Brown, I've spoken to him about it. And it's still there 3 years later.
Okay.
It has been a code enforcement, Mayor, and they'll clean it up and it'll come back.
I pass by there because I don't go out on Highway 80 anymore without using red light.
Yeah.
And I go by that house just a few minutes ago. There's 5 cars in front, and that hole, that water's still there.
Okay. We'll have them take a look at that. Okay.
But like I said, one of the locals, I'm sure she's from Sylvania, I think, but she lives here. That's just not the image you want to project.
Okay. So we're gonna have them go back by there. We will follow up with Ms. Bowman. Okay, so Ms. Palmer, we'll follow back up, but you have my cell phone number, so you can call me anytime, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, take it there. All right. And then next we have, on the agenda, Mr. Randall, is it Loon?
Yes, sir.
Loon, okay. I apologize.
That's
His
fine.
topic is for the recently approved historical marker.
That's fine. Mayor, council members, I did write up a speech today, and I'm not quite as eloquent as these fellows that's speaking, but what I have to say is pretty simple. I grew up in this county, I've been here all my life. Everything has seemed so quaint and smooth, and continues to be. And at any point in time, it kind of bothers me and scares me to see anything that might stir up a little tension of any sort. And when I heard about this monument, what it stood for, or for lack of a better term, I don't know, just, and the organization behind it, I read into that a little bit, and that kind of bothered me as well, especially the person that I know that helps fund it. But with all that being said, I just don't see the point, in my opinion, stirring a pot that doesn't need to be stirred. And I see folks walking by every day, just like I did today, on the sidewalk. Some of these people are from out of town, out of state. Our colleges brought these people in, a lot of them, students, professors. And the jobs that people have here that have moved here to live here because of work and what have you, they're from out of town as well. I just don't want to see them walking down the street and they already have the mindset of what a nice little town with everybody that gets along well, and everybody has gotten along well. I went to all the schools here, and growing up as kids, I worked in the tobacco fields when I was a teenager here in the county. All the kids on the buses were black and white, sitting there together. Everybody played together. Played sports at the recreation department down here together, shopped and whatever, everybody got along. You see on TV, places like Chicago and Detroit and whatever, where they're all just, it's crazy at these bigger cities, and we don't have all that here. But sometimes you get folks or organizations that seem like they want to bring it into these little towns and stir things up. And I'm not getting away from the point of the flag, but it's just, I hate to see something, seems to be that small right now, could grow into something bigger when folks read about it and they're already got it on their mind, and then they come see it and other folks see it. I don't think it's right for us to even start anything. Maybe, hopefully it won't start anything. I would like to think not, but I just wouldn't like to see our city take a chance like that on something like this that I don't think is necessary. Like these folks said, yeah, that was a terrible thing to happen. Crime itself. The lynching part afterwards, over 100 years ago. I don't see why we need to bring that up. No, we don't need to forget history by any means. But sometimes I think that, you know, it's better to read about it and learn about it than it is to have it in your face on the city streets as well. Some things, terrible things like that. And like they said, and like I'll reiterate, yeah, the lynching itself, it was terrible. But the unnecessary robbing of this family, and not only the robbing, but the raping and murder of not just a man and woman, but little kids, babies, after they were killed, piled in the bedroom, and the mattresses and the linen piled on top of them to set a fire along with the house. I just don't want to see anything to memorialize an act like that. And I just hope you folks will think twice before you actually put that out there. And that's my 2 cents, and I'd like to add 3 more to it.
I want to take a point of privilege in regards to this matter. There's been some misinformation in regards to this. And the misinformation is there is no glorification of any of the acts that occurred in.
Yes, sir.
We're not, this is a body that's not saying that we are wanting to glorify anything in that. So let's be clear with that. But what we can't do is pit the tragic incident that happened to the Hodges family. And I'll be the first to say that was a terrible, terrible matter. But what we're talking about is lynching, not Cato and Reed. We're talking about lynching. And those 2 men just so happened to be 2 of the 9 people that were lynched. And it would be a totally different conversation if the state was able to execute its form of justice. But that's not what occurred. A body led by the sheriff at that time went into the Bullock County Courthouse, took those 2 men out, took them to the north side of the city, and burned them at stake. But it didn't stop there. That same body, for 30 days, for the month of August, went on to terrorize this community. And they didn't lynch not 1, not 2, but 3 individuals. They beat and whipped people in this community. That is wrong. And that is what we are addressing. We're not trying to say what happened to the Hodges family is excused by any act. But what we're saying is the lynching that occurred in this community of those 9 souls and other individuals that we can't even identify was wrong. And so and we can't be a country where Nazi Germany does a better job of healing a wrong than we do. When you go to Germany, they acknowledge what occurred to our Jewish brothers and sisters was wrong. But what we have to do here is have the courage to do the same thing. And what occurred in this community in August of 1904, it was a tragedy. It was a tragedy so much so that it made it to the desk of the President of the United States. It was so embarrassing for this area that a group of people got together, and you know what they worked to do? To establish Georgia Southern University so that we could change the narrative of what this community is about. And so we recognize that these are tough conversations, but you have to have the courage to be able to sit down with folks that may see the world different than you and I, and be able to recognize that we are all humans. And just like any other group of people want to be recognized as beings created by God, that's got to be applied by everybody. And what occurred here in August of 1904 was a tragedy. It was sad. And we wish it would have never occurred, but it did. And if we're going to reconcile this nation, if we're going to reconcile this city, then we have to be prepared to have tough conversations. And I want to say this to folks that's in leadership in this community. If you are a person that's in leadership in this community, and you are afraid to have these tough conversations, please go sit down. Please go sit down, because you are not a leader, you are a placeholder. And we're waiting for the right person to get in that space, because at the end of the day, everybody in here, Mr. Marshall, me and you may not agree, but not one time have you come up there and I tried to stop you from saying whatever you got to say. And I will fight for you to be able to say what you have to say every single time. Paul and Reed, they didn't get the opportunity to appeal. They didn't get the chance to be able to exercise their rights to justice. And that's why the state is here. And whenever we get out and try to justify any form of vigilantism that results in the destruction of life and property, we run down a dangerous slope in this country. And so we got to recognize in this nation, either we're going to be a nation of laws and responsibility one to another, or we not. And I personally believe in the promise that was outlaid in those documents that founded this nation. And that's what I stand beside. But let us be clear. This body is not trying to celebrate anything that happened to the Hodges. We recognize that it was a very
That's the net
tragic.
effect of what you are doing though.
Yeah, but we're gonna have order in here too. You had your chance to speak.
I
And so
had
with
2
that
minutes,
being
you got
said,
unlimited.
we're gonna move to the next item. And the next item on the agenda will be our executive session. Is there a need for executive session?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And agenda item 17, consideration of a motion. Okay. Consideration of a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters in accordance with OCGA 50-14-3. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.